Hey, I got a present for you.
Oh, what is it?
Your headband.
Yes.
What's the fun catch though?
What's the catch?
We've been sick with the head cold for the past 2 days, about 2.5 days.
No, you've been sick with a head cold during spring break.
During spring break. It sucks. Bruins win 4-3 against the Chicago Blackhawks. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I am your host, Jay Freeman, and yes, like I said in the intro, I've been sick with the head cold for the past 2 or 3 days. Not fun. I woke up this morning with 101.7. It was awful. You try. All right, you try going to sleep. In when you have a pounding headache, heat cramp, heat cramps, nothing feels comfortable, and uh, and you feel like you are in the middle of the fucking Mojave. Yeah, not fun. It was genuinely one of the worst nights. It was genuinely one of the most excruciatingly painful nights of my life. Anyway, bro. Anyway, in this Bruins. The Bruins came into this game with a bit of I guess, an albatross around their neck, or rather with a bit of a narrative in the air. That being the fact that over the past few games, they have blown it at the end, and allowing for the first time in Bruins history, allowing a goal that would either tie the game or win the game for the other team in 3 of the last 4 games. So should we be worried about the Bruins in close games? Yes, we should. Yes, absolutely, we should. It is depressing to see a team with this much talent and just completely fall apart in one goal games that they should in 1 goal games that they should win. But and also there was a bit of what is it? There was a bit of an incident like 2 nights ago where the Blackhawks scored like 8 goals or something, and that top line of Alex DeBrincat, Dylan Strome, and Patrick Kane, and combined for 14 points. And this is when I have to remind every Bruins fan that we drafted Trent Frederick over Alex DeBrincat, and I like Trent Frederick, but Alex DeBrincat is one of only a few players with over 30 goals this season, and you put that on the Bruins team, and you put that on the Bruins, and Jake DeBrusk becomes expendable. Well, Jake DeBrusk becomes expendable. The top 9 looks even more solid, and shit, you don't even need to. At that point, you don't even need to sign Foligno. I mean, you didn't even need to sign Foligno in the first place, but still, it just goes to show that that freaking the DeBrincat DeBrincat is quite possibly the biggest piece of proof that 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 Don Sweeney is just horrible as a GM. However, what's done is done, and there's not and there's nothing that we can do about it now. But what we can do is laugh at how bad Kevin Lankinen has been in the past. Had been in the past 6 games. 1-3-2 in his last 6 starts. 1-3-2 and an .877 save percentage. Holy crap! Anyway, to start off, there was a shot. I forget who made it, but all I know is, but it started because Carlo couldn't clear the goal, couldn't clear it at first, because of course he couldn't. I have to say this was the first period was quite possibly one of the worst periods I've seen Brandon Carlo play in his entire career, and that might be saying something, because in the second period, because I forget which period. Sorry. Because at the start of the second period in the first game against the Oilers, the one that I went to, the one that resulted in me doing an episode alongside my buddy Tanner, of Carlo literally just passed the puck to Leon Draisaitl right in front of the net. But Carlo couldn't clear the puck for whatever stupid ass reason, and Swayman was trying to make a save, and it trickled right through him, and it landed right behind his pads, and he was able to scoop it up. But anyway, you ever seen someone cosplay in real? You ever seen someone cosplay on NHL ice? I'm not talking like actual, and I'm not talking like mascots or anything. I'm talking like, hey, I'm gonna dress up to be literally somebody else, or something like that. Yeah, that's what Coyle. That's what Coyle did, and he cosplayed as David Pastrnak. Interesting character. Interesting character. Looks good in a pair of pit vipers. Likes Barbie girl a lot. Good goal scorer. But Clifton. Okay. I am on record saying that I am forever on record saying that if there is one person that I think does the least for this team, that that is not named Nick Foligno, it is without a doubt Connor Clifton. I've been critical about Brandon Carlo in the past, but Carlo at least has a few good moments, and Clifton, meanwhile, really most of what he does is take unnecessary penalties and blow coverage and blow coverages everywhere, every chance he gets. But Clifton ends up shooting the puck off of Kevin Lankinen, and it bounces right to Pasta's office, and who's there playing secretary? Charlie Coyle, and he just goes and he just slaps it in with a wide open net, and to put the Bruins up 1-0. And then about 2 minutes later, Carlo basically just passes the puck right to Patrick Kane, and that leaves Jack Ashan to try and cover Alex DeBrincat and Patrick Kane, which I can tell you right now, not even freaking Bobby. I don't even think Bobby Orr is going to be able to do that. That is just something that you are not going to to win. It is awful to try and it is awful to try and freaking sorry. It is awful to try and cover one of them. Now try and cover both of them as one person. And of course, he's not going to do that. He's not going to. Of course, he's not going to freaking cover both of them. And so, what happens? And DeBrincat gets it's an easy tap in goal to put the to tie the game up at 1. And with that point, Patrick Kane ends up tying Bobby Hull for 4th in Blackhawks history in points, and which congrats Kane, and congrats. The second goal, well, I've been critical about Foligno, and yes, he was the catalyst for this one, but honestly, it wasn't entire. But honestly, it was just really bad luck on his part. It wasn't anything that he specifically. It isn't something. It isn't a bad play that he did. It was. Fuck. It wasn't a bad play necessarily that he made. It was just a bad. It was just something dumb happening on the ice. Is that being he tried to chip it up the sideboards. It ended up bouncing off the linesman. Brandon Hagel takes it and just wraps around and nudges it in to put the Blackhawks up 2-1. Thankfully, that would be the last time the Blackhawks go up this game. But we also need to talk about Jack Ahcan. Oh boy. I thought that last game was going to be the game that he would get the first goal of his career, but that ended up being tonight. As it feels like the Bruins are just constantly working working harder, not smarter. Jack Ahcan ends up breaking open out in front and during like a bit of a jumble at the on the right side. And he breaks open out in front and bounces off the sidebar past the defenseman and Kevin Lankinen and to tie the game at 2. And congratulations, Jack, for your first goal in NHL. For your first goal at the NHL level. And Bergeron obviously was like, yo, I'm taking this puck and I'm giving it to you. He was like, yo, linesman, give me the puck. We gotta tape this one up for old Jackie. And then not long after, on a power play, McAvoy ends up threading a needle of a pass right to Pastrnak, who ends up threading a needle of a shot right past Lankinen to put the Bruins up 3-2. It was great. It was fun. And then period 3 happens, and this is when I was like, oh great, we're gonna lose this game. The Bruins start off by getting a delayed penalty, and Chicago, and here's how delayed penalties go. As long as the team that does not have as long as the team that committed the penalty does not have possession of the puck, the victims of the penalty can continue to play the puck, and usually this will result in them pulling the goalie to and giving themselves an extra attacker. gives them a free 6-on-5 because if the if the defense gets any because if the defending team gets any sort of puck possession, it goes right in. It goes play stops and it goes right to power play. And Chicago had control of the 6-on-5 for a very concerning amount of time. I'm talking like at least 35 seconds of just hey, we're just gonna keep the puck. We're just gonna keep the puck. And they end up scoring on this power play because a Dylan Strome shot that bounces off of Swayman's pads. It's Swayman can't lunge forward and fall on the puck before Brendan Hagel gets there and chips it up and with less than 2 seconds left in a Coyle, I think, high sticking penalty, and that ties the game up at 3-3. And the first Bruins shot ends up coming 7.5 minutes into the third period. The first Bruins shot of the period ends up coming 7.5 minutes into the period, and by that time the Blackhawks have shot the Bruins in that period 8-1. And I was like, frick, we're gonna lose this one. And then with like 16 seconds left, what would usually happen to the Bruins ends up happening to the Blackhawks because while everyone is recovering from a weirdly messy face-off, Taylor Hall, who's just sort of just flopped on the ice, just passes it right to Pasta, and he's right in front to chip it up past Kevin Lankinen, and that ices the game for the Bruins, and 4-3, and due to Toronto losing 5-4 in overtime to the Arizona Coyotes. First, let me laugh at the Leafs for losing to the Coyotes, and second, let me laugh at the Leafs for recovering from a 4-1 deficit and then and still losing. The Bruins are still 2 points behind the Leafs, and I hope to God that ends up shrinking even further. But anyway, that is it for tonight's episode of Into the Den. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like, click subscribe if you really like. Down below is the GoFundMe for Jake Tebow's recovery to help a kid who was severely injured by in a freak hockey accident, and you can tell your friends that I don't know, whatever you want to tell them. Whatever you want to tell them. I got nothing. I'm still kind of recovering from this freaking head cold, as you could probably tell by how messy this episode was.